Are you a beginner, intermediate, or advanced declarer? In this video, I'm gonna share a hand with you. Go have a think about how you would declare this hand. And depending on the considerations that you had while declaring this hand, then I'm gonna give you a rating of either beginner, intermediate, or advanced. So without further ado, let's get started. So on this hand, I opened 1 of trump and partner bid 4 diamonds, which is Texas. I bid 4 hearts and it got passed out. West led the king of diamonds asking for count. On this, East played the 3, which is upside down count. Now West continued with the ace of diamonds, on which East played the 4 and me the queen. Now West plays the jack of diamonds. Plan your play. So I'm going to give you a while to continue thinking about this. Pause the video right now if you're still thinking. Okay, what the beginner declare would do, I imagine, would be to just ruff the 6. Like, why ruff the ace when you can ruff the 6? Right? Okay, so what an intermediate player might think is, okay, I can either play for trumps to break, which means that all I need to do is to ruff with the ace of hearts and then draw trumps. And if trumps break, then I play a spade and I'll get to pitch a club sooner or later. But that line doesn't work if hearts breaks 4-1. So if hearts break 4-1, then what declarer needs to do is to ruff with the 6, catch the ace of hearts, and then play a spade first. And if declarer manages to get into the north hand with the jack, then they can draw trumps and play another spade and pitch the club later. But the problem with this is that the declarer with the ace, whoever it is, could rise to the ace and then return a club. Now, you have to win it with the south hand, but you can't enter the north hand to draw trumps, even if the jack is still there. Because now you can't pitch the losing club in the north hand. So what declarer has to do would be to catch the king and queen of spades, pitching a club. Which means that for this to work, spades need to break 4-3. So now the problem becomes, is it better to play for hearts to be 3-2 or for spades to be 4-3? And they realize that there are 5 outstanding hearts, so there are 32 ways that the hearts can be distributed. And hearts break 3-2 about 5 choose 2, which is 10 times 2, because it can be 3-2 either way. So about 20 out of 32 of the times. And for spades to break 4-3, there are 7 spades missing, so there are 128 ways for spades to be distributed. And the number of ways for spades to break 4-3 would be 7 choose 3 times 2, which is 70 ways. So if you compare 70 out of 128 versus 20 out of 32, then it's more likely for hearts to break 3-2, and therefore this intermediate declarer would ruff with the ace and draw trumps immediately. But unfortunately for this intermediate declarer, the hearts broke 4-1 and this line would make them go down. But an advanced declarer knows the number 1 rule of contract bridge, which is to never assume that opponents misplayed the hand. So in this particular case, East play of the 3 of diamonds followed by the 4 of diamonds is a clear suit preference signal for clubs. So it's pretty insane that West did not return a club. But it could also be that West was hoping that East started with double turn diamond and that the queen of diamonds was a forced card by declarer. Well, it's kind of hard to tell what defenders are thinking, but I would think that in the latter case, whereby declarer is assuming that West was playing for a forced card, there would at least have been some hesitation during the play to think about whether to play a club as partner signaled or whether declarer is capable of forced carding. So if there was no hesitation at all in the play, that means that West probably wasn't playing for a forced card by declarer. So why did West not return a club? Well, the only reason for this is either West is void in clubs or West knows that the club is not coming in. And how would West know this? West will only know this if they have both the ace of spades and a singleton club or void club, which is why they can't return the club. So what does this new information mean for our probabilities? Well, if we give West 1 or 0 clubs, then the relevant West shapes are either 6, 3-3-1, which I don't think is the case because that means that they could have given partner a ruff. So we're going to exclude that. Or 6-4-3-0, which same thing. So if you assume that West doesn't have 6 spades or they could have given partner a ruff, we are choosing between West's hand shape being 5-3-4-1, 5-4-4-0, or 4-4-4-1. So I actually learned a new way of calculating the odds at the table recently from one of Philip's articles. I'll link the article and his blog, the Gargoyle Chronicles, in the description below. So if West shape is 5-4-4-0 or 4-4-4-1, then you need to ruff small. And the chance of this happening is for 5-4-4-0, there's only one way which clubs break 6-0 times 5 ways of hearts breaking 4-1 times, given that West has the ace, there's only 6 spades remaining, and for West to have 4 of these 6 spades, there are 6 choose 4, which is 15 ways for this to happen. So in total, there are 15 times 5 times 1, which is 75 cases. Whereas for 4-4-4-1, given that West has the ace, then there are 6 ways for clubs to be 5-1 times 5 ways of a 4-1 heartbreak times, given that West already has the ace of spades, then there are 6 choose 3, which is 20 ways for spades to be 4-3 with West having 4. So in total, there are 6 times 5 times 20, which is 600 cases for this. So in total, there's 675 cases for this. On the other hand, ruffing with the ace works when West's hand is 5-3-4-1. And the probability of this happening is 6 for clubs times 5 choose 3, which is 10 for hearts, and 6 choose 4, which is 15 for spades, which is 15 times 10 times 6, which is 900 cases in total, which makes the line where we ruff the ace more attractive than that if we ruff small. So the chance of hearts breaking 4-1 have dropped from about 70:80 to about 675:900, which all the more means that we should ruff with the ace, right? Wrong. Think about it. If West hand is indeed 5-3-4-1 with ace, king, jack of diamonds and the ace of spades, then maybe West would have made an overcall over 1-0 trump. Like, a lot of people here play 2 spades as spades and a minor, and I think that this hand is a suitable hand to do that. So the key here is actually to ask opponents what their methods over 1-0 trump is. If they play multi-landy, which is 2 spades showing spades and minor, then they probably would have it 2 spades holding this hand, and we can actually rule it out. So depending on what opponents play over 1-0 trump, you'll have 2 different best plays, in my opinion. Let me know what you think of this hand, and see you next time.